Now, it doesn't matter if you've been producing for a long time or you're just starting out. Creating your own melodies can be really difficult. So I got this little technique for you guys that makes it really easy to come up with your own chord progressions and melodies. Take a look. So I get asked a lot about how to create melodies if you're not really schooled musically or musically trained. So my method for this is using just one single scale, in this case C minor scale. So what you need to do is really learn the C minor scale from the top of your head, so you can really work in it very easily. So I'm gonna draw, if you don't know what C minor is, I'm gonna draw all the notes in the C minor scale right now. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 notes in every scale, and 8 is the same one as 1. Now a chord always consists out of the notes 1, 3, 5. And the way that works is that you just start counting from the notes where you're starting out from. So if I take this one, the 1, 3, and 5 will be 1, 2, 1, 3, 5. So if I take those notes and place them underneath each other, sounds like a proper chord. Now if I would be able, if I would start from this one, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's invert it. No, it's this one. It works. It's a proper chord again. Let's do another one. Let's start with this one. So it's 1, 3, 5. So those are really easy chords. Now let's create something a little bit more interesting with these chords that I've got here. Let's place them on these sections here, and I'll put them on legato. Oh, that's a little bit too long. All right. Now, it doesn't sound particularly interesting. So what we can do is, this chord right here is just 1, 3, 5, but we can add in, for example, a 4th note. So let's take the 7th note in that chord. Now, you really need to memorize the notes that are in C minor to really do this, but I know what notes are in C minor, so let's try it out. This top one is the 5th note in the chord. So let's go 5, 6. This one is not in the chord, in the scale. 7 works. Now let's try it out here. So this one again is 5, 5, not on the scale. 6, not on the scale. 7 works again. This is the 5th note in the chord. So let's try and find 7 again. Not on the chord. Sorry, not on the scale. 6, not on the scale. 7. That seems to work really well. Now we can make it a little bit more different by playing around with inversions. Now an inversion is when you take a note in your chord and put it 1 octave lower. Let's invert this one as well. Can we do that? Let's try it out. No, it sounds really bad, so let's take this one. Sounds alright, but I actually prefer it here. Now, when making your bass line on your chords, normally you would just take the bottom notes here. Now you can see that this chord right here doesn't really work that well, because the root note of this chord is not this note, because this one was inverted from here. It's this note actually. So let's try that out. So here we have our basic chord progression, and if you're really learning to use C minor very well and you're really proficient at it, you can make melodies really quickly, and you'll start to notice particular patterns in chords that will make your life easier, you know. Because for example, I know that I can place this bass note here as well and it'll work as well. So it sounds kind of jazzy. But the thing is, you'd expect to have every single chord progression you make to sound the same because you're using the same scale over and over again. But that's not the case actually, because we're always working in a digital format. So in Logic I can just select everything and transpose it to a different key. It sounds completely different already. So all that we need to do right now is just create a nice little rhythm. And also, the easy thing about working in C minor is that you really easily create a top melody on your chords. So for example, I've transposed it back down to C minor again. I can just paint in random notes here on the piano roll and not really have any regard with the actual melody, because I can just pick out some random notes that are in C minor. So these are a little bit too low, maybe it's more fun when they're higher up. Now I've created the melody again, so I can transpose it to a scale that's more fun to listen to. And there we go, we have a melody, and I didn't start with this melody in my head, I just used the technique of just working in one single scale. So learn how to use one specific scale really well and just start creating melodies, you know. It's really easy to work this way and you'll have really cool melodies in no time. So good luck on trying it on your own, I'm sure it'll work out. And I'll see you next time.